All right, how is everybody doing? It is Monday evening, 11:20. This is a live update. Meteorologist Zach Gilday here. It has been another cold one. Temperatures below freezing throughout the whole day, and right now we're actually seeing some snow. Believe it or not, I'm seeing some comments. Edward, it's snowing in Bentonville. Yeah, I was looking at some of the cameras earlier. Definitely snowing in Rogers, and I got a report from somebody in West Fork saying that it was snowing right before the 10 p.m. full weather. So definitely, if you're seeing snow flurries, if you saw some, leave a comment. And right now, we can look at the radar, and it's really not a huge deal. A special weather statement has actually been issued for a few of our western counties because there could be a tenth of an inch, maybe a few tenths of some light, fluffy snow on the less traveled roads, maybe a few isolated slick spots, but most areas are looking pretty fine. Here's Heil Heat and Cooling Mega Doppler showing there was a band in the River Valley a little bit earlier that was producing snow near Waldron, but right now it's looking pretty quiet. I can show you what I'm talking about here. Let me get some weather cameras up here. So earlier, Waldron, it was showing snow. I had it zoomed in on the harps. Definitely not doing that anymore, but definitely cloudy. Here is a Posey Mountain view, seeing clouds trying to clear off, and we got a comment, Rebecca Christians in Garfield saying snowing in Garfield. Well, it's kind of hard to see from this camera because it is so light, so you really can't pick it up unless there's lights directly in the way of that snow. But definitely seeing a little bit of light flurry action, and that's kind of why I hopped on here because a little bit of slick areas that can't be ruled out actually have a special weather statement. Greenland, Arkansas, snowing. Let me show you the special weather statement. So we got here's a radar view. This is for the River Valley. That snow band is leaving the area further north up into northwest Arkansas. Here's the special weather statement. So this is through around 1 a.m. We could see a light dusting on those lower traveled roads, maybe a little bit of slick spots, but really most people won't be seeing any effects from this. Yeah, here's a comment. Yeah, crazy temp inversion this morning, 10 degrees on the ground, 35 up at 9,000 feet. So, yeah, definitely a temperature inversion. For those who don't know, it means warmer air aloft, a colder air mass. And this is a shallow Arctic air mass that is in place. That's why it's been so brutally cold. And I'll show you tonight's lows because we do have a weather headline. If you're just hopping on, let me go back to it. We have a cold weather advisory. So last night's was very cold, but tonight's is going to be a little bit colder. In the powder blue, wind chills could be as low as -2 degrees. So that is dangerously cold. So I know today was a holiday. It was Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Schools were probably canceled. I'm sure there were. Tomorrow, as school are back in session out there in the bus stop, first thing, it's going to be frigid. So if you have kids out there, make sure they got the hat on, the glove, especially the tips of the ears, tip of the nose, stuff like that. If you're out there for just minutes, you can get some damage, especially if there's a breeze. And there might be a breeze. Now, last night the wind was very calm, but tonight we've got some things going on. Believe it or not, there's actually a major winter storm system to our south. And I can show you that in just a second. But for right now, there is a breeze, and that's because we're kind of in between a low and a high. Load that up. The wind is light, but I think these winds might pick up a little bit towards mid. I see Grove, 12 miles per hour. That's definitely not light for that wind, and that's making it feel a little bit colder. Let me get the wind chill graphic up, and let me show you the current wind chills. So we're doing this live because, one, it's freezing cold. Two, we're seeing some light flurries. And down south, there is a major winter storm. Wind chills, Fayetteville feels like 9, Grove feels like 3, Tulsa feels like 1. So very cold right now. Here is tomorrow morning. So we got tomorrow morning wind chills in the single digits. 7 a.m. I'm not too sure about the 8-degree wind chill, 8-degree temperature. I think there might be an error, but 8 a.m. definitely feels like 1. Thermometer reads 7. Very cold air in place. And by the afternoon, on your Tuesday, another day with below freezing temperatures, 20s for those highs, teens for those wind chills. And here is the River Valley stays below freezing once again. Here's a comment. Any chance of an upcoming winter storm for Northwest Arkansas? Extended forecast. Well, that's a question. And that is one that I've been asking myself pretty much all day. There are some indications that we will be entering a more active pattern. Casey, let me show you. I think as we end January, I do think we are going to be entering a more active pattern. Here's Climate Prediction Center. Their 6 to 10 day outlook. Looks wetter than normal as we close out January. But with that, temperatures actually should be right around normal. So the chances of it being colder than normal and the chances of being warmer than normal are pretty much equal. So normal temperatures for this time of year, if it's in the morning, it's cold enough for snow, but during the afternoon, it's not cold enough for it to snow. So that's kind of what I'm getting at now. Are we getting any snow in Northwest Arkansas? I can show you the 7-day forecast. Why not just show that real quick? Because just in case you missed the 10 p.m., I know it's a work day, week, nights here. So here's the 7-day. Thursday, 20% chance, mainly dry cold front coming in, warming trend. That's the big story. Temperatures definitely going up. We can see Wednesday finally up to above freezing. 40s are back Thursday. Now here, as we close out the month, the pattern is looking a bit more active. Now I put showers for Sunday. Notice how the high is 47. That low Sunday night, 31. It could be getting down around freezing Sunday night. So wintry weather can't be ruled out. I was looking at some of the longer range models, and some of them were showing snow. Some of the ensemble members, some of them weren't. So it's kind of far out for those of you who were wondering about, are we going to be seeing snow in the extended? But it's still January. Still a lot of winter to go, and I'm kind of wondering, does anybody want any more snow? If you want snow, leave a comment down below. Just kind of curious about that. Here's a comment: slight sprinkle of snow in Lowell. Believe it? I was outside earlier on the veranda here in Fayetteville at our studio, and I was seeing a little bit of light snow. It's that really light, fluffy snow because it is just freezing cold. So it is a high snow ratio. Getting some mixed responses about the snow. Phyllis does not want snow. Eric, the more snow, the better. Edward wants snow. Teresa wants snow. I think we're getting more people who want snow than don't want snow. Michael, no more snow. Bring on the spring. I think Michael wants some thunderstorms. PhD student here at University of Arkansas, and yes, I do want a lot of snow. I am not ready for studying again. I don't blame you. But tomorrow's cold. Not enough snow this evening to cancel classes. I can show you the radar again. Really nothing to see on the cameras. I would show cameras, but the snow is really tapering off. You can see there was a band in Northwest Arkansas earlier. That's why Rogers, Bentonville, West Fork had a report of snow. right now it's really tapering off. So if you're wondering about snow, are we going to be seeing any more tonight? Probably not. We had that special weather statement. There's a no more snow. Yeah, for me, I don't want the ice. For snow, I kind of like snow. It's hard to forecast. It makes our job difficult, but I don't want the ice, and I can show you areas that might be seeing some of that ice tonight and tomorrow. But yeah, here's a comment. Yeah, any travel impacts in the morning? No. Well, see, here's the deal with that. Let me show you this. There's a small chance you could run into an isolated slick spot because there is a special weather statement, but at 5, 6 a.m., it should be pretty good. Let me have this load up here. There it is. So here's a special weather statement. This just mainly means that it's not enough for a winter weather advisory, but it's worth mentioning. So this is just through 1 a.m. Again, we're looking at eastern Oklahoma here for these counties. So Delaware, Adair, and Sequoia. Could see some isolated slick spots on the less traveled roads. But morning commute looks to be pretty good. Michael, I want spring because of severe weather and my NASCAR. Yeah, yeah. NASCAR is pretty cool. I've never been to a race. I have a lot of family members who love NASCAR, and my brother went to a couple of races. I think he was at the one that's in Alabama, the Talladega. Yeah, I think he went down there. Sarah is a summer person. I like the summer. I'm kind of done with the cold, and it is cold. Let me show you how cold it is. Here's a camera. Let's see if we can see some flurries. Here's Fort Smith. See how cold it is right now. 16 in Rogers, 20 Fayetteville. And you might be thinking, last night was so much colder. But here's the deal. It's cloudy, and there's a slight breeze. So the cloud cover really keeps things warmer because the clouds, believe it or not, even though the sun is gone, the clouds have a warming effect on the terrain below. But once those clouds clear, the all the warming that did occur during the day will quickly leave. And I do think by tomorrow morning, I think all the clouds will be out of here. Let me show you a feature track. Here's a feature track showing just a small chance for a few light showers, mainly southern River Valley. And then here's clearing. So this model shows, 2 a.m., 3 a.m. clearing. So pretty shortly, but let me get a Garfield Posey Mountain view. So yeah, we're seeing clearing. We're seeing stars. Let me see if going a little bit further east here. Let me see if we can see clouds from our Gaither Mountain camera. Oh, where is it? Stand by. Yeah, it's just too dark out there right now. See much. But here's Posey Mountain. Definitely seeing clearing. So Michael, I've been to two. I've been to Talladega 2 last year. The Daytona 500 this year. Going to Vegas. Nice. Yeah, I do want to go to a race. Yeah, that's a good question. For the snow for the rest of the week, I don't really. I wouldn't bank on it, especially during the work week. The weekend, we might see some precipitation as far as snow. That's in question. It right now it's kind of looking like rain. Yeah. So headline: light snow flurries with very cold temperatures. That is true. All right, let me show you. All right, so right now for us, the weather, maybe some isolated slick spots, very cold for us, but further south, if it was further, if we were down there in Houston area, in New Orleans, we would be dealing with some pretty serious weather. Let me show you what I'm talking about. We've got a strengthening area of low pressure. So I drew this map earlier, and the low pressure system down there was kind of weak. It wasn't really defined, but it is definitely rapidly intensifying. There's just so much energy. And when we can see that snow, look at the snow developing across East Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. For us, it was just very light on the far back edge because it was out ahead, because we were out ahead of this Arctic, reinforcing Arctic blast. That's kind of why we saw that. Just some forcing ahead of that cold front, and difference in pressure between that low and that high. That's why those winds aren't completely calm. Now, let me show you what's going on further south. So we got a big trough of low pressure just swinging in. Pretty much all that energy will miss us to our south. And let's show you a feature track. Here's a European model showing that snow developing, continuing. Here is 4 a.m. New Orleans, Tuesday, looking like maybe some heavy snow across the shoreline. It's going to be weird. Potentially some snow on the beaches down there in the Gulf of Mexico. So on Florida Panhandle, looking like snow. Now, as far as accumulation, let's see what some of the models show. So this model kind of shifted totals eastward, but maybe a half foot, maybe a little bit more. It's very unique seeing that kind of weather down there. Continuing forward, is showing a heavy band of snow across Panama City up into Georgia, and maybe even some icing potential. So this is what I do not want. Across South Texas, that's some icing down there. That is not what I like to see. Up into far southern Louisiana, Florida and Georgia, Jacksonville, they could be dealing with some historic wintry effects as far as we go snowfall totals, we go icing potential. And here is a winter storm severity index. Wait for it. Showing some major question marks. There it is. Major impacts for southern Louisiana, Houston area. And if you look very closely at Louisiana, kind of like there's kind of some dots of some extreme impacts. So down through Lake Charles, Baton Rouge. If you have family down there, make sure they're ready for the storm. Effects into the Florida area. And I do think this is underdone. I think that they will make this a little bit more defined. And that was the 1 to 3 day. So here's the winter storm severity index for the day one. These take a while to load. So that's day one. So this is from Monday into Tuesday morning. So through 7 a.m. And here's the day two. Wait for it to load. See how it shifts eastward. I think that this will be upgraded to moderate and major. And then finally out of here by Wednesday. Well, take that back. Yeah, Wednesday to Thursday. That's where the icing should be in the Florida Panhandle area. But yeah, I do not like dealing with frozen pipes from cold. Yeah, And I really hope you don't have any of those frozen pipes because that is not good. And I can show you some cold weather tips here, just in case you forgot. Do I have that graphic loaded up? Nope. Find it. Here they are. Especially with weather this cold. The 4 Ps, the plants, pipes, pets, and people. So plants, probably nobody's probably growing stuff outside at this point. Insulate the pipes. Especially, yeah, growing up in New England, it wasn't really um, an issue because a lot of people had basements, and but if you have a hot water heater in the garage and it's not insulated, the copper pipes coming from it, that could be an issue. Um, yeah, bring the pets in. Just very 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 cold for them. Check on the water, food, and dish, and check on the neighbors, especially if you happen to lose power. Temperatures this cold can turn deadly. Yeah, better being safe than sorry. Have water running, covered pipes. Just caution. It's a lot. Yeah, and here a lot of people, especially if your sink has separate valves for the hot and cold, you want to drip the cold and the hot because you have a hot water tank and you have, depending on if you have a well or city water, you have a bladder tank if you have a well. That's where the cold water is. So just different pipes coming into the same faucet. Not this time around, Anthony. Yeah, Florida is going to be getting the winter impacts this time. This system is very far south. Is developing in the Gulf of Mexico, and for us, it's very cold. But just how cold is it? Can can engineer overheat in this weather? Um, I'm not really sure what you're asking, Edward. Can engineer overheat in this weather? Yeah. So let me show you. How about let me show you this, and then I'll show you some good news. So let me load up a national temperature map. Stand by. How about this? Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, you're asking, can an engine overheat like your car engine? Oh boy, that's a question. Um, I guess. Um, I know cars can overheat when it's. I remember growing up, we took the car to get it fixed, and whoever fixed it forgot to plug in the fan to the engine, and we were driving down the road, and the car was overheating because the fan wasn't plugged in. So you need more than the coolant to cool down the engine. So I would imagine if there was something wrong, then yeah, the engine could still overheat. Could still overheat even though it's cold. But check out this map. Check this out. Check out Denver, -12. Look at Minneapolis, -18. That's the real deal. Not to say it's not cold here, it sure is, but man, that's cold. Yeah, yep. The shower, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, a lot of people have the separate ones in the shower. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so a lot of faucets, Especially if you have, I know another one, probably if you have like a laundry room. Usually, if you have a sink in there, usually is separate valves for the hot and for the cold. But that's how cold it is across the country. And let me show you some good news. I think we'll probably wrap this up because it is cold and late. Wait a minute. I see flurries. Hold on. Here's an Arctic blast. Now that's right now. But let's go forward. Wave goodbye. Goodbye. Finally, we should warm up to above freezing Wednesday. Let me get this. So just a couple more days of this frigid air. Back up to normal by the weekend. Now, check this out. Look at this. It is snowing. Stand by. Look at that. Snowing. And if you look at the radar, hold on. Oh. You might be thinking, it's not snowing. We were just looking at Rogers, but where's the snow? See, here's the deal. We're looking at the radar from Fort Smith. So as you get further and further away, the higher and the higher that beam is. So pretty much the radar beam is above the snow. So the radar is not picking up on it. So even though the radar looks like it's not snowing, it definitely is. Because there it is. And let me zoom in on it for you. Stand by. Some big flakes. I'm looking at the RDOT right now, and there are no reports of any snow on the roads, especially I-49. Should be pretty good. I know earlier I saw some trucks putting down salt. I saw one on this highway, and I saw one or I heard of one around the Fayetteville area. So that's good that they're doing that they're putting down some salt. Not good for your car, but good for the road conditions. I know for me, I just got myself a car wash because it was very dirty, and I was worried about the salt. So, anybody else seeing snow? Let's check some more cameras. So that was Rogers. What else? How about Huntsville? We got a brand new one. And is this stand by on Huntsville? Here it is. Yeah. Maybe. I know here in Northeast Oklahoma, we had snow flurries around 3:30 p.m. today. Yeah, I believe it. All right, let's check Bentonville. Here's Fulbright. Let me zoom in. Yep, I think it is. Stand by. Zoom in on that real quick. Yep, flurries in Bentonville. Oh, zoomed in a little bit too much. How about the square? Kind of a blurry image a little bit. Not quite as crisp as. How about up there in Garfield? Yeah, so a little bit of clouds trying to work their way back in. Maybe the snow is fighting back. But if you're seeing snow, it's really going to hold on. Yeah. All right. Yeah, the snow isn't really going to be causing any impacts for us. Yeah, so those were a few cameras and okay, snow Drake Field. Yeah, we don't have a Drake Field camera, but I believe you. Let's see if let me load up. Come on, you load up. Here's the Drake Field obs. It's not showing the snow icon, but I definitely believe you. Oh, hold on, let me let me show you what I'm looking at. Yeah, it's Drake Field obs. It's not showing. Here's Drake Field obs. Yeah, it's not showing the snow. But that's our graduate hotel view. Let's see if it's snowing from the graduate. Let me let me move that camera. Let me zoom in on that. Stand by. Yeah, so probably not in downtown Fayetteville right now, but definitely snowing somewhere. Okay, yeah, the roads in Tulsa are slick, and there was a report of a rollover on Highway 75. Yeah, so that's another reason why I kind of hopped on here because I do think there will be some isolated slick spots. Even though it's flurries, it is freezing cold. Any moisture on the roads will definitely freeze. And let me show you this special weather statement for the area in the whites. And so, not quite, you know, big enough to be a winter weather advisory, but this is for maybe some light snow accumulations on those roads less traveled. Could lead to a few slick spots. Definitely not out of the question. So I think I'm all caught up with the comments. It is 11:53 p.m. on Monday, about to be Tuesday. So if anybody has any final comments, suggestions, definitely feel free to chime in. But I think I'm going to probably wrap this up. Here's the 7-day forecast, just in case you missed it. Very cold tonight, 20s tomorrow, above freezing finally on Wednesday as those south winds pick up. Stays pretty dry, active pattern for the weekend. You want the 8 ball? Well, if you have a question, I will ask the 8 ball. But think about a question to ask. Active pattern. I think it looks to be an active pattern come the weekend into early next week. Definitely back to normal. Uh, um, we can ask the 8 ball. Will we see snow in the next 2 weeks? How about that? I think that is a final question, and then we can end it. Here it is, the 8-ball. 8-ball right here. All right, will we see snow within the next 2 weeks? My reply is no. That's what it says. We'll have to wait and see if the 8-ball is right. All right, question for 8-ball: will we see less tornadoes in 2025? We can ask it that. All right, will we see less tornadoes in 2025? So it's outlook good. Well, you will have to wait and see if the 8-ball is right. But yeah. So 11:55 on this Monday. It is a cold one. You know, now that the skies are kind of clearing out, I'm wondering myself if it is cooling down rapidly. Now remember, these OBS updates once every hour, so we just had a latest update at 53. Pretty sure that's when it updates. Here's Fort Smith. Actually, let's look at Rogers and see if it is still snowing before we wrap this up. Rogers, Pinnacle, Parkway Towers. Yeah, not seeing much anymore. So just some light on and off flurries. 17 is cooling down, and there is a breeze. Stand by for that breeze. Actually, here's a wind chill. Feels like -3 degrees in Tulsa. And tonight we should get down into the single digits once again. We have a cold weather advisory. So this is pretty interesting. So now it's 11:57. So less than 3 minutes away from the cold weather advisory being in effect. And that's because tonight wind chills as low as -2 degrees, and tomorrow it will stay below freezing throughout the entire day. And I do think tomorrow night it won't be as cold, but there will be a wind chill tomorrow night. Let me see what that shows, because this is a good indication on whether or not there will be another cold advisory tomorrow night, because those south winds will be increasing tomorrow night. The NAM does a pretty good job with the wind chills. Yeah, so tonight it's showing -4 degree wind chill in the Bentonville Rogers area. Now let's look what it's doing tomorrow night, because tomorrow night it won't be as cold as far as what the thermometer says, but I think those winds will be a little bit stronger. Here's Tuesday. So Tuesday, tomorrow midday, it will feel like the teens. Overnight, getting down to near zero. So I do think that a cold weather advisory for tomorrow morning, or I mean, for the morning after, for Wednesday morning, I do think that's a possibility. But we will have to wait and see. The National Weather Service, usually they make those updates either late tonight or tomorrow afternoon. So we're going to have to wait and see for that. But until then, 11:59. Should we wait until it hits midnight? Probably not. But it's about to be a new day, and I hope you have a great day, because it has been got about 30 seconds until it is midnight. It feels wrong to end it before it hits midnight, so I'll wait till midnight. But here's a comment. Bartlesville is 9 degrees. It feels like 1. That's cold. About to be midnight, and 2-1. It is midnight, so it's late. I hope everybody has a great night, and thanks for watching.